just a small one in it. I don't want it to be too heavy. Then I got my pocket. Then I have the band. So the next thing is for us to go ahead and prepare it for sewing. This is the interfacing. I'm going to iron the interfacing to the band. So now there are two sides to the interfacing. One part is smooth, the other part is a little bit rough. So it's that rough part that has the gum. So I'm going to place the rough part on the wrong side of the band. Then I'll iron it. The rough part is always the part with the gum. So that rough part is going on the wrong side of the band. So let's go now and prepare for sewing. Trim out all the excess from interfacing. So now we need to prepare our skirt band. This is how to prepare band even for skirt, for trouser, even for collar. Sometimes you want to do a bishop's collar, you can equally prepare it this way. So now I cut out two and I've added interfacing to the two sides. One is lining, one is fabric. So I decided to use the same fabric for lining, the same for the same as fabric. So this is the right side and this is the waist part. This is what I'm going to be joining to my skirt. So let's assume one is fabric, one is lining. So I put the right sides together, right side of the fabric to the right side of the lining. Then I'm going to go and line it, align the two together all the way. Because I use the same pattern, it's supposed to align. So I'm going to pin the waist down. I'm going to pin it all. Alright, so I've pinned it all the way. So next thing is to rule out my seam allowance. To measure it out, I'm going to be measuring out like a quarter. I don't want to use half an inch. I'm going to use just a quarter. So that's for the upper part of the band. Then for the sides, the two sides, I'm going to do half an inch. Sewing allowance for the sides, half an inch. For the upper part, quarter of an inch. So I'm going to turn my pin. So my pin is facing this corner, because when I want to sew, I'm going to sew to this corner and sew it down. I'm going to show you how to sew that part. Then this other part, I'm going to also do half an inch, half an inch, half an inch. Pin this, change this pin to face the corner. So then the next thing is for us to go to the sewing machine, half an inch, quarter of an inch, all the way down here, half an inch. Now we want to join our band. I'm sewing the waist part, the upper part of the waist. So I've pressed it. I pressed my seam allowance out. I pressed it all the way to this side. That's my seam allowance. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to notch the waist part because it's curved, so I need to notch it so that it will relax when it's taken in. And I want to say this, if you used half an inch to join this together, you notch it, then you trim it off. There's no point leaving the bulk of the seam allowance inside your band. It's going to make it look so bulky. So I do this just for it to relax, and I can still trim it if I want. If I feel like it's going to just create unnecessary bulky shape for me, I can still trim it off. So please, this is important. You can equally do this. And notch this way too. Can notch it this way. Can notch it this way. Can notch it this way. So I've notched it. So this is it. I'm going to fold my band this way. So I don't know if you can see this clearly. One band is going to be shorter than one. I don't want it to be equal. It's going to be shorter so that when I'm joining it, attaching to the skirt, it's going to guide me when I'm sewing. All right. So before I do that, let me top stitch so that my band will not be folding or turning up and down. So I'm going to top stitch the one that is going to be inside. I'm sure you know how to top stitch. That's not a big deal. Okay, to top stitch, if this is my lining, I'm going to put the seam allowance. This is the seam allowance under the lining. Then I will sew on it this way. You see that I didn't start top. Okay, I'm not going to start right from here because I'm still going to turn my band. So I'm going to leave maybe like 1 inch or 1.5, then I will start my top stitching so that when I want to turn my band, it's not going to obstruct. As I'm top stitching, I'm going to be checking to ensure that the sewing allowance is under my lining. If I'm top stitching on this side, the seam allowance will face this way. So that what I'm doing is holding the seam allowance down using the lining. See it? It's under. This is what I'm holding down. Also going to stop like 1 inch before the end so that I will be able to turn my band. So I'm going to iron it now. Even if I'm not ironing it, it's going to give me that shape already. You see? You just lay flat. That's it. I've pressed it. So I want to turn this now. This is the edge. This is the other edge. So what I will do is to open it this way, swing around, swing around. I'm going to turn it like this. Then I'll sew it. So let me show you again. The edge, just turn it right side facing right side. That's all. Then you take your sewing allowance. Okay, so I just snip this, then reduce the bulk a bit. Then I'm going to turn it inside out. This is not the right tool, but use it to put it out. You see it? Band is ready. Ready. Sometimes I use this to bring it out. So this is from the back stitching. I hope you can see it. Can you see where I stopped or I started back stitching? So here, no back stitch. You see it? You see it? So that you will not have issues when you want to turn this out. If you start back stitching from this tip here, it's going to affect the way you turn. So that's it. So my band is ready. The next thing is for me to insert my skirt and sew it all the way down. So I'm going to do same for this side. So I'm going to just cut here and remove the bulk. So turn it inside. So just going to trim this off. So the band is ready. So I've prepared my skirt band now. The next thing is for me to go and fix my zip. Yes, I might not show how to fix the zip in this video because I have a video already on how to fix invisible zip. So if you want to learn how to fix invisible zip, check the description below. I'm going to put it in the description box. All right, so I'll come back and fix the band. It's ready. This is my lining. It's a short one, like I said, short lining. The pocket again. You've already seen the band. So the skirts, this is the skirts now. I want to explain this before I continue. This is the front pattern. This is the front pattern. So this is the front pattern. If you remember, this part that I mentioned is going to be cut on fold. Is the CF center front is cut on fold. Then I'm cutting one. The center front I cut one. The back I cut two. Because there's no parts of the back that is folded. Like I mentioned, I always love to have a side seam so that if there's any amendments, correction, whatever I need to adjust, I can quickly do it on the side. So I cut 2 pieces for the back, front and back. So now I've pinned it together. I just hope that you will see it clearly. I pinned it together, right side to right side, the right seam of the back, and this is the second back. I pinned it together, right side. This is one piece for the back, this is another piece. Let me remove the pin so that you see it. This is one piece of the back, this is another piece for the back. So this is the center front that I cut on fold. It was like this, it was on fold, it was on fold. So good, this is the center front that was on fold. The center front, it was like this, on fold. So I removed my pattern and I opened it out. This is the right side of the front. So I placed one of the backs, the pieces, the 2 pieces of the back. So this is the back pieces. I said I cut 2 pieces for the back. This is the 2 pieces. So I opened the 2 pieces for the back. This is the right side of the back, right side of the back. So I pick one side from the back pieces, the right side to right side. This is the side seam, the side. Then I side seam for the back pieces. I joined it to the side seam of the front. So I pin it down, pinned it all the way down. So I pinned everything, yeah, from here. This is one side. So the second side, this is also the front and this is the back. So I'm going to join it together this way. Pin it. So that's what I did. Okay, so the only place left open is the center back. Center back. It's the center back. That's where I'm going to fix my zipper. That's it. Center back. That's where I'm going to fix my zipper. So I'm going to fix the zipper here, then join the side seam. But before I join the side seam, I'm going to insert my pocket here, then pocket here. On the 2 side seam, I'm going to fix pocket, then center back, I'm going to put zipper before I fix the band. Fix the zip and I'll fix the pocket. It's a pocket, the 2 pockets. Then now I want to fix the lining, my zipper side. Then I will take this side of the lining. So it's just like right side of the lining to the right side of the fabric. I'm starting right from here, the edge of the zipper. See where the zipper is? So I'm starting from here. I'll pin it. So I'm just going to use my pin to hold it down. Please, I don't know if you can see it very clearly. I want to see how I'm going to hold it. If you see the way the zipper is now, so it's like it's facing down, but it's the right side of the fabric. That's how we fix invisible. In case you don't know how to fix your invisible, you can watch our video. I have a video on how to fix invisible zipper. So I'm going to place the right side of my lining. I'm placing it to the right side of the fabric, so it's like covering the zipper, but when we finish fixing it you will see it that is actually not covering the zipper. It's going to, this side is going to be inside. So it's still the right side. Right side. So I'm going to pin it. If you get to this part, this seam allowance inside, you open it out like this, because I'm going to pin it to one side, and this part of the zipper, let it fly, don't hold it down, so that it will not give you a drag outside. So I'm still holding this seam allowance with my lining. I'm going to hold, I'm not holding the two allowances together. You open it out and pin it to this side. To pin it now. I'm opening it out because I'm using only this side. If anything goes wrong here, it's going to affect the hang, the way the skirt will hang on you. So I'm still going to use serger to finish the hemline, so I will not sew it down to the tip. When I use my serger, I cannot hold it down. But if your own lining does not free, you don't need anything to, you don't need to use a serger. And if you also want to fold it down, yes, you fold it before you join it, so that you can finish it neatly. So that is one part of the zipper. You see it when I sew it, this is what it's going to look like. Let me pin this one down for you to see. So when I sew it, it's going to look very neat. So that's what I'm doing now. I'll do this for this part too. This is the second side of the zipper. I'm going to do it the same way I did this one. So, like I explained earlier, I use this lining to turn it, and this is what the inside looks like now. This is the zipper. So this is what the inside will look like before the band. When I put the band, all these raw edges, you won't see them again. So yeah, so this is it now. And this, don't just ignore. I have a long zip and I had to cut it and finish it. Even the thread, I've not found my way around here, so I'm still working with what I have till I get my way around. So this is what the inside will look like. You see it? I said please, if you're going to finish it, finish before you join, but because I'm using a serger, I can just use the serger to finish the edges for the lining. If you're going to fold it, yes, you can fold it before you join the lining, before you use the lining to turn. So the remaining parts of the seam, I'll use serger equally to finish the edges, and then we're good to go. Take it to the ironing board and give it a good press. That's it. So the next thing now is to fix band. See how I folded this and I've pinned the lining all the way around. The next thing is to fix my band. So this is the band. So I open the band and I open this seam allowance on the other side to align it with the skirt, so that I can hold it down first, like now. See, this is still folded and this is my skirt. Now open the seam allowance and align it and pin. So So I'm going to join these two together first before I tuck it in to close with the other band. Then we're good to go. So let's go. You can cut this off and leave it in. So I'm gonna cut it off. Then just put this inside like so. Cover it. See where we top stitch. So this will also guide you for you to know that this is the raw inside. This is what will be inside. But sometimes some fabrics you won't know the front, you won't know the back. So this is your band looking pink. Looking pink. So go ahead and sew it now. So just tuck it in. If you're sure you can sew it without pinning it down, go ahead and try it. But I love to pin it down to make my work very neat. So I'm going to pin it down. Pin it down. And by pinning itself, I will be able to know if my seam will come out on the right parts. So I love to pin the way I want to sew. So if you look at it, see where the pins are. The pins are right here. So that's where my seam will be. Here. That's where my seam will be. Here. Just right here. Alright, so I'm going to do all of that. Then bring it to show you. Good. Can you see the pins? So I pinned everything so that when I sew, the seam will be on this line where I have the pins. See where the pins are showing? That's how my seam will show underneath the band. That's how I'm going to sew straight underneath the band. If you remember that I mentioned when you finish your band, one side will be longer, or purposely I ironed it that way for one side to be longer, and this is the side that is longer, this one inside. After top stitching, ironing, I folded it in a way that one will be longer so that it can cover up this one here. When I sew on it inside, it's going to be right under the band in front. So that's what I use my pin for. You can equally use a basting stitch. You can just baste it all the way around. If you don't want to sit down with pin, you can sit down with your hand needle and baste it. So now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. I'm actually on the sewing machine. So I'm going to sew it now, and it's going to follow the line so that when I open the front part, the stitches will show all just right under the band, and there is a footer for it if you want to use the footer. I'm going to use my regular footer to do that now. See it on the band. Right under the band, under the band, under the band, under the band. See it, see it. this little bit, but yeah, I got to go. So just leave. So that's it. The skirt is ready. See the inside. See the inside. Inside. This is the band. Yeah. You should try it, and let's see what we can do. Let's see how far. Try yours.